Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. Finally, we are sponsored by the upcoming ABV Barrel Shop, a new liquor store experience coming to St. Louis, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop will serve as home to the ABV Network and will be owned and operated by Steve Akeley, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton, a.k.a. the Barrel Buddies. To learn more about the investment opportunities in this new venture, listen to the ad at the end of this podcast. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we will talk about Maker's Mark's Slam Dunk Bottles. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guest, Kerry Mohan. Oh, Kerry, I know. I do it every single time. A fresh person, absolutely screw their name up. Oh, man.
Moynihan.
I literally said it 20 times. I had Moynihan.
I know.
I'm gonna nail it. So we're with Kerry Moynihan and Luke Caro and Phil Collins.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, everyone.
We haven't even started drinking yet, and this is already fun.
That's a pretty normal thing for me. And then I also just want to add in this real quick for Tim Swyatt that my chair was rubbing on the table leg.
No, it wasn't.
Not any sort of sounds that he thinks I know he's going to call it out at some point, but it was just my chair rubbing.
We have a sound guy who listens, and yes, he picks up on everything.
Call it out, and I want
don't try the one cheek sneak on this show. You'll get caught. Get caught. Yes. Oh, good stuff today. We're going to be talking about Makers. I find myself now the leading authority in the industry on Maker's Mark Slam Dunks. So we'll talk about how all that came about and what actually a slam dunk is and what is not. There's some confusion out there, so we're going to clear up some stuff today. It'll be fun, but we'll get to that after the break. For right now, Phil said there's something he wanted to talk about. What was that, Phil? I almost forgot who said.
Yeah, no, definitely me. We're off to a slamming start today.
We're doing good. And we haven't done this in a while.
I know. We're rusty.
We had Key West in between here.
The shows before Key West and the shows after Key West. So one thing I want to share with you, I thought this would be a fun topic for the five of us to discuss, is I'm always loving the bourbon analytics, the data trends, what's hot, what's selling, what's moving. You know, take it all with a grain of salt because different people have different information. But I came across something I thought we could discuss. I thought you might find interesting. Wine Searcher, which is one of them internet sites that you go on.
Secondary market type of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. They have some real analytical nerds working for them because they put out an article last week where they revealed what they called the world's most wanted bourbons. And all it was kind of across their platforms, they ran some data on what had been the 10 most searched brands.
It's got to be up there.
For 2021.
Blanton's
so I was going to...
buzzword.
So you said Blanton's?
I say Blanton's is way.
So I was thinking I would ask you guys to see how many you could name, but we've done stuff like this before on the show, and it always ends up horribly. And people say Johnny Walker, like it's not even. So if we want to take a shot, if you can name a few, Blanton's is definitely on the list. Anyone else want to take a crack at some of them?
I'm gonna guess
bourbons.
They're all bourbons, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna guess barrel bourbon.
Barrel not on the list, no.
Not on the list. Okay, it's great stuff.
What about Four Roses single barrel?
So only one Four Roses made it, and it's the Four Roses limited edition, small batch barrel strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we got to have Pappy on there. I mean, it's just got to hit the list.
So this is like a wish list?
Well, it's a secondary market, basically.
People looking for bottles. Yeah. These are bottles that people have come to Wine Searcher either seeking more information, seeking to buy, seeking to hear price on. So the top 10 is super. This doesn't go on for 2.5 hours. The top 10 is Blanton's. These are in no order.
Lamb's number one.
Nope. No order. No order. Just reading.
Oh yeah, you said it first. It's number one.
Okay, fine. Stag. George T. Stagg, just for you,
nice.
Colonel.
Nice. Yeah, that's just me searching, actually. It was anybody else other than me. It was just me.
Stagg Jr.
Ah, nice.
William LaRue Weller.
Makes sense.
Weller, 12-year-old.
Sure.
The aforementioned Four Roses limited edition small batch barrel strength. The old Rip Van Winkle 10-year. Pappy 15. Pappy 23.
Wow.
And Eagle Rare 10.
Eagle Rare.
Those are the 10. Right. Do you notice a really not surprising, but a strong theme through 9 out of 10 of those?
Sazerac Company.
All Buffalo Trace products right out of the Buffalo Trace distillery. So 9 out of the 10, including, depending on who you ask, Face Pappy or otherwise, 4 of them fall into that kind of Van Winkle umbrella. And then various things. And I was surprised Eagle Rare actually was on the list. I guess Eagle Rare.
That's what I was going to say.
That's a weird one, right?
I think it's the trickle down. I think it's like, what else do they make that I want that I could possibly
Do they have like the prices people are paying there for? Because Eagle Rare, as we know.
Oh, Wine Searcher's smarter than that. They put some information on there, but they're not paying.
What do they say it'll cost you for a bottle of Eagle Rare Wine Searcher on average?
I do not know. I did not come prepared to the show with that information. I just came with
I'm glad I get
attitude and a list of brands.
Everybody does that to me all the time. I just have the basics, and everybody wants the details, and that's like.
So we'll see how 2022 goes. But and I also thought it was interesting that no one's interested in the Pappy 12. If they can't get the old Rip Van 10, they go right for the 15 or the 23.
Right.
Maybe it's that ugly label. It's that is the ugliest label in the businth, right?
And you have purists. I've heard purists who say that it has to be Face Pappy for it to be really worthwhile, or else it's not worth your time.
You gotta have a Face Pappy. Okay.
Well, everyone's got a hot take. So just a little nibble on like I said, somewhat predictable, but some interesting ones. And the only one not a Buffalo Trace product is that Four Roses that comes out every year, and this is what people are knocking down doors and camping out for. So, by no means, I think anyone would say these are the best or not my favorites, but some of them are, but it's an interesting list of what people are most searching for.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
those we're sharing. A little bourbon conversation on the Bourbon Daily. We don't know.
He's dropping knowledge.
All right.
I appreciate that, Phil, but I think it's just a wish list, because I would venture to say none of those people are very successful in acquiring any of them.
Yeah.
Agreed. True. That's true. All right. Well, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Kerry. First time on here. Let's see how she does.
Hi. Well, I am drinking barrel bourbon.
Okay.
You can see it. I don't think you can see it. It's the New Year's edition, Cask Strength 2022. It's a limited edition New Year's edition that I got from Joe, the creator, the maker, that he sent me for Christmas. And I've been kind of working on it all year.
Decent. A little squeaky, but decent. Could be in the mix at the end. We'll see. Luke, what do you got?
I'm going with the Legion.
All right,
it's
Legion.
Almost a little under half.
Yeah, about half there. Okay.
Nope.
Oh, not enough. Kerry still maintains the lead. Beka, what do you got?
I'm gonna drink. I've got some Deer Hammer here, some of their Cask Strength American Single Malt Whiskey. It's 7 years old. Signed by Mr. Lenny Eckstein.
Nice. Okay. Whew, that's close. I still think Kerry's got the lead, despite the squeak. I think she's got the lead. I think she's still going to have the lead after this. So it'll probably come down to her and Phil. I've got Henry McKenna here, the 10-year, but this is about halfway gone. And last time I did a cork pop on this thing, it was terrible. So I'm not expecting much here. Let's see what we got. Well, not terrible, but not great either. Not enough. Kerry's got the lead, but she still has to get through Phil. Phil, what do you got?
I brought the small talk. I want this to be a strong show. I want our listeners to say, hot damn. If I only listen to this show that he's on, Phil's a good guest, and then I don't want them to listen to it. So I have a bottle of Bullet unopened, so we'll see how this goes. By the way, I know in the show we often talk about malarkey the labels, but right above Bullet, I don't think I've ever noticed it before. It says, distilled and aged in the Bullet family tradition, which, as we know, is vague and nebulous whenever they try to get pinned down about what the Bullet. All right, here we go.
Okay. No, despite a new bottle, not enough. Not enough. It could have been Mike Muffle, maybe, but you took it. So, Kerry, congratulations, 1 for 1.
Oh, rookie!
Yay!
You may want to hang up and never be on again, and get that 1,000. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
All right.
That's good.
Yeah, mine's good too. All right. What we'll do is we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, it's going to be time to talk slam dunks and why I'm the leading authority in the industry. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. We are also sponsored by Moonshine University. This longtime partner for the ABV Network helps educate individuals looking to get into the distilled spirits business, service industry employees looking to expand their knowledge, and individuals simply wanting to know more about the process and history of the spirits industry. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at Moonshine University, and it's something I continuously draw upon and connect with fellow graduates. Check out their full listing of classes, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes, and more at moonshineuniversity.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. All right, back to the show.
This is Freddie Mills, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Maker's Mark slam dunks.
With leading authority, Steve Akeley. Oh, thank you, Beka. Appreciate that. So yes, it's interesting. I've been a bourbon fan forever, and I always heard talk about slam dunks, and then you'd see pictures of them when social media started getting to be a thing. You'd see pictures of them, and you knew they exist when makers themselves started occasionally posting some social media stuff. I always thought that wasn't true until I saw makers kind of getting behind it a little bit, but now it's kind of exploded here recently, and the reason for that is this one right here, the cask strength, and I'm holding it up. You can't see it on our podcast here, but for our in-studio group here, you can see that. And what it turns out is cask strength does 1 in 12. They overdip them. And what an overdip versus a slam dunk is, I'm holding an overdip in my hand. It exposes at least one of the shoulders. So a true slam dunk will go past that all the way around. But if it leaves a shoulder peeking out, and this has two, the front two, the back two are covered, but the front two are slightly showing. That means it's
like an early 1980s Jennifer Beals is what you got going there.
Yeah. So that happens about 1 in 12. So 1 in 12 because it's one in a case. But the true slam dunk, get this, one per pallet. Wow. And it could be any of the items. It's not necessarily just one particular, and the reason why I know so much about this is I'm the first person to ever interview Maker's Mark on the record. So I tried to do this. I tried to go through their PR people, and I got turned down. And at least I don't think they knew what I was talking about at first. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll get back to you." And then I checked in. I check in like every 2 weeks because I was trying to be polite. And they were like, yeah, we'll get you an interview. And we'll get you an interview with Jane Bowie. And I'm like, Jane Bowie doesn't do me any good. She's not on the line dipping. I said, I want to talk to someone who does this. Jane Bowie's like the boss. So but eventually what I did is I went to Jane and said, this is what I want to do. And then the next week I got an interview with somebody on the line, and they were able to tell me all about this and how it works and, why they do it and how much fun that they have with it. And it's just something special. It's kind of like a little treasure hunt, and defined for me what an overdip is. I've never heard that saying before. And now I know what it is, and I see it out there. So now I enjoy going into the Maker's Mark groups, and everybody puts, I got a slam dunk, and then I tell them what it is. I post my video, and I see in these groups now other people using my video, explaining what an overdip is and saying, here's an example. Here's where you can learn more. I think it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool.
So I know that there's an actual statistic of how many go in the case and how many.
Yeah, I was surprised they shared that. Yeah,
that was actually like a intentional thing, or
right.
The 12th person on the line is just always an ass, and they're like, I'm going to be over dipping this.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
I watched that interview, and I thought the woman from Maker's Mark did a great job of explaining what a slam dunk is. Do you want to kind of go into the basics of what it means to do it and how they use their skills with 3 Z's to create the true slam dunk?
The slam dunk is literally, pushing it further into the wax. But then, of course, the key for them is what they want to do is get the drips. And it really is all about as many of the drips as you can get, especially down the front is what they're looking for. So as it sits on the shelf, like the one I'm holding up here, my overdip that I've got has 2 on the front. Well, they for them, a big deal, something like 6. There's some of them can do it. So there's a real skill to pushing it in, pulling it out, twisting, and then slamming it onto the table where it pushes those drips down further. So that's basically how they do it. But yeah.
So when they told you 1 per pallet, so that's like 1 out of every 336 bottles.
Yeah.
If they do 56 per pallet, 6 times. Yeah. So who gets the honor of doing that?
That wasn't defined. So it must be worked out ahead of time because they have to stick to that number. But I don't think that there's the same person doing it every time. And the other important thing is on the true slam dunks, it can be on any product. Even though you see the big 175s, they'll slam on those.
Really?
So any of the items can have it, which means it's incredibly rare. So like this woman that I interviewed, she's been on the line for 7 years. And once she started doing that, she got interested in maybe finding one herself. She could make one and get it, run it through the gift shop and get it, but she wanted to find one out in the wild, as they say.
The wild, yeah.
Yeah. And she has never found one. And I'm the same way. I've always looked for these things and never found one. And like I said, I thought I had one when I brought that cask strength in there. She's the one who told me that is not, and this is exactly what it is. So
yeah. When you did the story, it kind of reminded me when Lucas is collecting Hot Wheels, and I kind of got back into it with him too.
Right.
Hot Wheels would release a treasure hunt once. Well, they would release 12 treasure hunts per year, and the goal was to collect all 12 treasure hunts, and they're always unique. They had special paint jobs. They had remember they had the real riders, the real rubber tires, some really fancy paint and stuff. So this kind of harkens to that same type of, okay, now I'm an adult, I'm going to go to liquor stores and look for
a treasure hunt. Yeah.
I would always try to collect the limited edition Hot Wheels that were dipped in red wax. They were very rare. They wouldn't spin worth anything. And somehow they had delicious bourbon inside. Is there now, when you talk to her, is there a limit to how far the dip can go down as opposed to like covering any of the words and the legal restrictions?
There is not. But they can't cover the legal stuff. So like the government warning and stuff like that has to be on there. The UPC has to be on there. But those are things that are at the bottom of the bottle anyway. So as long as it doesn't cover that, it can go much further. But they try to not cover up the whole thing. What they want to do is they want to go down past the shoulders and then have those drips extending down further. So, but you have seen some that have gone further than that. And again, I don't know when I see those, if they're even real, because I asked her, have you ever seen one that's been all fully dipped? Because I've seen that online, and she says that's not true. So that could be just a Photoshop thing. That could be, again, there's people that can make stuff look real that isn't. I don't have that skill, but I know that people do. So you're always skeptical when you see stuff. So
now the one other thing that I wanted to ask is that did you guys touch your toes in the water at all about how notoriously litigious Maker's Mark is when others make use of wax, dripping red wax?
No, but by chance I interviewed Jane Bowie. She was part of an event that we did, and somebody asked about all the clubs and stuff like that, because a lot of them dip wax and stuff like that. I don't think they go after clubs because that's just there and gone. And but she said she can guarantee you, if you are in the bourbon biz and you dip yours in wax and it has drips down, or it has that red wax like their color, and you do that, you will shortly thereafter get a letter from Rob Samuels. So she's like, if you want to hear from Rob, you'll quickly hear from Rob if you get in the business to decide to do the wax and have it drip down the side. They will definitely come after you quickly too. So they don't mess around.
Well, you may have created a new frenzy. Now people are going to start going looking for these.
Yes.
Start posting them and then start selling them for outrageous prices where Phil and I can't afford it anymore.
I've ruined it.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Yeah. What bothers me is I ruined it. Well, like everything, I ruined it before I even got one. I don't have an official slam dunk. I was,
Steve ruins everything.
I did. I thought, as I'm doing this and releasing, I was like, I really wish I would already have one of these. So
what's it called again? A full tilt? What's the one you have that they do with the?
It's an overdip.
Overdip.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And how common are those? Once a case on the overdips.
Yes, once a case on the cask strength. So
because I think I've been there where I've seen it's a slam dunk, but now in hindsight, I'm pretty sure I just saw an overdip on a cask strength.
Yeah, I've seen an overdip, but I've not seen a slam dunk.
Yeah. So they'll catch your eye when you see them out there.
I've only seen either when it's somebody that goes in and gets to dip their own. That's when I see it.
Yeah. Well, they've even stopped that too. So I don't know if you've been there. They put the bottom in there now, where I think because people were trying to do their own slam dunks, and because I did one recently, and you could only put that thing in like just past where the lid is. I mean, it's then it bottoms out. It's I was really trying to go for it because I was doing the slam dunk thing and I wanted to put that part of the story, but
that's a shame. I didn't know that.
They put a new.
You used to be able to years ago before the Bourbon Boom explosion. You could bring anything you wanted down there and dip it in the red wax. Yeah, and so I'd seen a couple of people, which I thought was so cool, is they would take an old empty bottle of Maker's Mark and fill it with different things. And one guy in particular filled it with the combination of grains, the percentage of grains that make up Maker's Mark. And they took it down there and they dipped in, and it looked like a brand new bottle of Maker's Mark just filled with cereal grains.
That's cool.
But that's been, I think
they might do something like that again. Don't you think they would? If
I would think so. I think limited
with the grains in there, that's a cool enough story. And it's like, I bet you they'd do it for you, but I can't commit them to that. So don't go in there and be like, Blakely says,
right.
I have no control.
I'm already fueling up the car, driving down tomorrow and using your.
I don't want a letter from Rob Samuels. So no, I don't need that headache. So. Yeah, well, there you go. There's about slam dunks, overdips, what they are, and about how I'm the leading authority. So if you have any questions, feel free to email us at the ABV Network. Of course, I don't get the emails, McNew does, but she'll answer you. So you'll get to speak to the second leading authority, McNew, so which is not bad, I guess. All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kerry, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me at firstrailentertainment.com, at barrelroomchronicles.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok now, because everybody's got to do TikTok. Instagram. Yeah.
Someone just told me I got to do it. I'm way too old. Could you imagine me on TikTok?
That's what I said. And then I started looking at my Instagram post versus my TikTok post, and the TikTok post has several hundred more views.
If Luke will join me, I'll go on TikTok. I'll do a joint account with Luke. That'll be the only way I'll do it. Two of us will be TikTokers.
Here we go. Let me get done with the legislative session. And
then you'll have time to focus on it for our content. We'll have content meetings, Luke. It'll be fun.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Phil, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter doing the tweets at Derby City Phil. You can find me on Instagram doing the gram at Derby City Phil. And you can find me on TikTok doing the Macarena Never. Never, ever, never.
All right, Luke, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find us at Santa Fe Boutique Wines on Instagram and Luke Otero at Santa Fe Boutique Wines.
All right, Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, newsletters, all kinds of stuff, abvnetwork.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Later.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least, at the top of the show, I mentioned investment opportunities at the new liquor store concept, the ABV Barrel Shop, being launched in 2022 by myself, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton. We are crowdfunding some of the capital needed to open the store. Not only does it offer a return on your investment, but a lifetime of status and benefits at the store. Of course, this investment is a loan and involves a high degree of risk, which may not be suitable for all persons. Prospective investors should carefully evaluate the risk and merits of an investment, should confer with their own legal and financial advisors, and should be able to bear the risk of the loss of their investment before considering the investment described herein. If you would like more information, contact us via the under construction website at abvbarrelshop.com and fill out the form.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.